So I've officially gotten to the regret stage of the haircut. No need for I told you so's. Hey internet! So I've now been doing these Obsessions of the Month videos for over a year. I actually started last year in September, so this is the first one of the new year. This month I've been working really hard on doing schoolwork and doing work, and I've been to my niece's birthday party. I had my nieces come and stay with me for a night. I joined a gym, and most recently I just got back yesterday from a road trip to Columbus, Ohio. There will be a video shortly to follow about that, so that's all I'll say here. Monthly coffee update. I've really been getting a lot of Starbucks this month. I've actually been going to Starbucks and getting a nice mocha. I am hoping that within the next couple months I'll start drinking hot coffee. This month I listened to 2 different audiobooks. The first book was called Modern Romance, and it was written by Eric Kleinenberg and Aziz Ansari, who you might know from Parks and Rec. He's also a comedian. So Modern Romance is definitely got some comedy in it, but it's also got some really interesting research that Aziz and Eric did on the modern dating scene. They were looking to see how current dating patterns differ from 20 or 40 years ago and why. They looked at things like dating apps and dating websites and where people meet each other and what they're looking for. It definitely could have been more scientific. It was pretty funny. I listened to the audiobook. He spent a lot of the audiobook telling me that I was lazy for not picking up the real book. Aziz Ansari was the one that actually narrated it, so it was funny to hear his words in his voice. I definitely recommend you pick that up if you're at all interested in modern dating. In a completely different genre, I decided to listen to The Martian this month. I'm gonna say I totally hopped on the bandwagon here. I kept hearing about this movie that was going to be coming out, and at first I was like, I don't know, it kind of sounds not up my alley, but I had heard a lot about it, and I had heard a lot about how it was actually relatively scientifically accurate, and the movie was getting a lot of press. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna listen to it, and I loved it. It was definitely technical. I felt like I had to pay a lot of attention to it, and there were certain parts where I thought maybe having the physical copy of the book would have been better. I will say that when I finished the book, I kind of had this feeling of like there wasn't enough after the climax of the story for me to have calmed down and like dealt with what had happened. I hope to see the movie this weekend. So anyway, I definitely recommend listening to that book, especially if you're into Mars, especially if you got as excited as I did about the new Mars news with the hydrated salts. Thought that was really cool. Another really cool thing that I was a little bit obsessed with this month was the super blood moon lunar eclipse. I know everyone was talking about it, I know it was all over the place, and I know that my pictures of it were not near as good as a lot of people's. It was the same blurry dot, but I had never seen a lunar eclipse in person. This one was super cool because it was a super blood moon, blah blah blah. Anyway, I was so excited that I finally got the chance to see it. Me and my friend Andy sat out and watched it happen. It was a little bit cloudy, and for a little while we were unsure if we were going to be able to see all of it, but we did. So yeah, that was another really cool thing that I was excited about this month. You guys know that I'm into podcasts, so this month I've been listening to a lot of Grace's podcast. It's a really interesting podcast because she's very clearly not trying to be serious, and it's funny sometimes having people come on and listening to them slowly realizing that they don't need to be super serious. I would highly recommend listening to that as well. I think I'm actually gonna end this here with one more thought because I've been pretty busy this month. And my final thought is that this month I have been obsessed with learning through this class that I've been doing, and what I've learned a lot in this class is that people, I mean particularly students, but all people are very different and they approach things in different ways, and I think that this class has given me a lot of insight into how people differ and kind of how to make sure that you can handle the differences and be aware of them and be the best type of human being to other human beings that you can be. Probably pretty cheesy, and I probably didn't make any sense of that, but it's okay. I guess that's all for now. Keep an eye out in the next couple days for my vlog from my trip to Columbus with my friends, and yeah, I will see you all later.